Good evening and welcome to Jenison Wildcat Football, broadcast by WCET, Channel 50, your local cable station, serving Jenison, Hudsonville, and Grandville. It's great to be here. My name is Don Peterson, and along with my partner, Steve Peterson, we will bring you the game of the week. Jenison faces Grandville to open up the OK Red Conference play. Both teams come into tonight's game with identical 1-0 records. Tony Anise and his Wildcats will try to continue on their winning ways by taking on Grandville Bulldogs, led by their first-year coach, Irv Seeger III. Grandville finished the 1997 campaign 2-5 in the OK Red with a 4-5 overall record. The Bulldogs came into tonight's contest with a 1-0 record, having defeated Detroit Cody 32-22 last Saturday afternoon. Jenison, which had a successful 1997 season, 7-2 overall and 5-2 in the OK Red, will try to get off into the playoffs this year, as they were a couple of years ago. They come into tonight's game 1-0 with a victory over Hudsonville last Friday, 29-12. This will be Tony Anise's second season, and he should feel right at home after his first year. This contest is for bragging rights, as we've always said as we do these broadcasts along Chicago Drive, as these two teams have been playing one another for 27 years, beginning back in 1971. Jenison leading the series 17-10. Last year, the Wildcats defeated the Bulldogs in a high-scoring contest over at Grandville, 37-28 on their new home field. To give you a preview of the Jenison Wildcats and the Grandville Bulldogs, my partner for the night, Steve Peterson.
Well, hey, it's great to be here. It's an excellent night for high school football. As you can see, Jenison now is entering the field. What more can you say? It's Grandville versus Jenison. You can take all of the preseason predictions and all the rankings off the table because there's few rivalries in the state that run this deep. It's going to be two well-coached teams tonight. They're going to be playing for pride. You're going to see two disciplined teams. I had a chance to meet with both coaches, and both guys are very excited about tonight's game. Coming into the game tonight, WZZM Channel 13 and Wood TV 8 were both here. So this is one of the biggest games in the area, and I'm very happy to be here tonight.
Steve, last week the Wildcats played Hudsonville, as we said earlier, and they racked up 365 yards offensively behind the quarterback, C.J. Hooper. He went 5 for 6 on his passing for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had a 65-yard run around left side of the end, so he's got great speed. They also have a great tight end in Brandon Moss, number 99. He's 6'3", 250. He was on the receiving end of 2 touchdown passes. He's got the size and speed, and I'll bet he's going to be a Division I prospect.
Absolutely. There's some great athletes on both teams. Grandville runs a very strong, big front offensive line. They're going to be both big and they're going to be quick, and the same could be said for Jenison. So it's going to be two well-conditioned teams, well-disciplined teams, and it's going to make for a great night of high school football. You know, last
thing I was going to mention also is that Jenison features a fairly young offensive backfield, although we've heard that their sophomore, Dawkins, a 5'11", 180-pound sophomore, injured his ankle last week. He made a spectacular run for 25 yards around the right side of the offensive line to score his first varsity touchdown. May not play tonight, but they have Mitch Harriman, 6', 215, playing fullback. Last year gained over 1,100 yards, and he was I think he probably averaged 6 yards a carry last week. And so look for them to continue to run the ball and pass the ball, mix it up pretty well with this quarterback, C.J. Hooper, only a junior. Before the contest, the coin toss was won by Grandville. They elected to receive. Jenison will be kicking off, defending I believe the north goal. It's been a warm day. It's been up in the 80s all day, 85, 90, maybe even approached 90. But right now at game time, there's a little wind out of the southeast. Not much of a factor. The temperature probably somewhere around the mid 70s, and as the night proceeds, you'll probably see that temperature drop into the low 60s. Hopefully for the players, that's the ideal playing conditions.
Well, one of the things you have to keep in mind is these kids have been practicing since probably the 1st of August, and they've been through the odd days of summer. So I can guarantee you the heat's not going to bother them. It's a perfect night. It's going to be a great night.
So Eric Anderson, 45, teeing the ball up on the 40-yard line. We've got 12-minute quarters, high school football. The Bulldogs dropping back number 5 deep to receive on his own 5-yard line. We're going to check these names out as we go through. We'll probably mispronounce a few, but we'll try to do the best we can. That's Brad Wieringa, number 5 for the Bulldogs on his own 5. And number 9 on the far side of the field is Jeremy Vanderveen, as well as number 33 on this side of the field, near side of the field, Kurt Ferrick. So about ready to go. Grandville's got a fairly good-sized team this year. It's heavily laden with juniors, but the kids are they're eating some pretty good food out there in Grandville. Eric meets the ball at the 40-yard line.
Boy.
Well, fans, there you see it. In a rivalry, like Steve just mentioned, Grandville and Jenison, anything can happen, and you just saw it happen in front of you. Brad Wieringa, 95 yards. Here's a replay. Watch the Brock blocking him up the middle, and he breaks off to his left, and watch, you'll get a good block in here down the field. And then 45, Eric Anderson just hasn't got the wheels to catch up to number 5, Brad Wieringa, 5'10", 155 senior. So,
well, you know, enough can't be said for special teams in a big game like this. And for Grandville to come out and break one open like that and the Wieringa go all the way for a touchdown, it doesn't surprise me, but I can tell you this, it's going to wake Jenison up. They're going to be ready to play, and it's going to make for an outstanding game.
Back to kick, number 82 for the Bulldogs. The extra point is Erwin Brandon. I could be mistaken on that, but we're going to look like they scored so rapidly, Steve, that the kicking unit is still trying to figure out whether they go for 2. The coach, that is.
Well, that does tend to happen when something that quick happens, and both teams are prepared to go on offense and defense, and a young man breaks one. Havoc does tend to break loose, but I tell you what, enough can't be said for the Grandville receiving team. They opened up a hole for Wieringa. He busted through basically untouched, and that young man can definitely run well. Yeah,
he'll be thinking about that one for a lot of years to come. 95 yards on the big rivalry. Number 82 is, in fact, Brandon Irwin. Tight end, he's a tight end. He's 6'3", 195, back to attempt the extra point from the 10-yard line. Ball's set down, and it's good. So we have a fast start to the game, Steve. The Bulldogs jumping on top, 7-0 with just a few seconds to go in the first quarter.
Well, it does. Coach Jenison is going to talk to his guys. He's going to settle them down. They're not going to lose any hope right now. I can guarantee you that. They're going to gather themselves, recompose. They're going to get the ball, and what they want to do right now is hope to put together a great drive.
That happened a couple of years ago. We were doing a great game out at Grandville. Oh gosh, this is about 2 or 3 years ago, and the same thing happened in the first half, and the game settled down to a pretty good offensive struggle, and the offenses got into a good rhythm, and we got into a good game. I believe Jenison may have won that game, but at that time they had some great running backs. I think Lee, number 38 for the Bulldogs, was a sophomore at the time, so it's about 3 years ago. So back to kick for the Bulldogs, number 82 again. Brandon Irwin deep to receive. We have on the near side 80 for the Grigorski.
Kick taken by Harima. I tell you what, Harima took that right up the middle. Nice run back and nice special teams play. Jenison's going to take the ball over now at the 30-yard line with the hopes, like I said, putting together a nice sustained drive and getting the tempo of this game back together.
So to set this offensive lineup we've got here, we have the tackle, we have Roz, and we have Farber. At the guards, we have Ashmore and Branch, and center we have Schmucker, who's number 64, who's up over the ball now. C.J. Hooper, number 14, a junior, 5'8", 160, directing the offense, calling out signals. He has 2 backs in the backfield, 1 player off to the far right here. He's back to throw the ball. Little screen pass to Harima. Harima picks up about 2 yards, driven out of bounds on the far side of the field.
Well, that was a nice play by the nose tackle, Steve Chappell. He came all the way over, and he's a big young man. He's 6'2", 220 pounds.
Steve, here's a replay.
Chappell played it quite well on defense. He stayed home, probably read the screen. As a senior, he's probably seen that play a few times, so well played on defense.
We got 2nd and 8. Hooper directing signals. 2 backs in the backfield. Flinker split out right, left. Strode up the middle. Harem up for about 7 yards.
Well, from talking to the Grandville coaches, they pride themselves on tough, strong defense, play in and play out. So they're going to be looking to put some hits on the Jenison backs. They know Harem is a key part of this offense, and they're going to be keying on him tonight. But that was a nice quick run up the middle and a nice gain of about 8 yards. Nice
blocking in there by number 62, Tracy Branch, their right guard. The senior at 5'10", 230. They average 230 from end to end, so they have a pretty good size. So we have 3rd and short. Again, Harem off the right side for the first down. Number 58 for the Bulldogs on the stop. Eric Holland goes both ways. He's a two-way player, one of the few that Grandville has. He plays in the line as a guard, and he plays as a linebacker on defense. You see a lot of 58 tonight. 6 foot 195 senior.
Eric Holland did come up and make a nice tackle. Unfortunately for Grandville, it's beyond the first down marker, but Holland did put a good hit on him and wrapped him up well.
Okay, they moved the change down to the 42-yard line. Cooper calling out signals. 2 backs in the backfield. First give off, Stroh off the right side of the line. Picks up about, he may have just barely gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Nice defense by the Bulldogs.
Jenison looks like they're content with sending up a ground game. Like I said, they're going to gain their composure here, and they're going to just start running it up the field and get the momentum going back on their side.
Kevin Fales brings in a play from the sidelines, number 84 for the Wildcats, 81 for the Wildcats coming out. That's Racine, Jeff Racine. Hooper back over center, over to Schmucker, calling out plays, 2nd and 9. Kept the ball himself, makes a nice move on a defender, still going downfield, breaking tackles. Finally driven out of bounds by the free safety, number 5, Brad Waringen, about the 5-yard line.
I can tell you this, C.J. Hooper had every opportunity to step out of bounds and run it out, but he made a nice move up the middle, as you can see by the replay. He had a good opportunity to run it out of bounds, but he's a tough, hard-nosed kid, and he cuts it right back up the middle for another 25 yards. And more. Nice touchdown-saving tackle.
Big play for the Wildcats. So they're looking to tie the score up with 9:38 to go in the first quarter. Lone back in Harema. Hooper calling out signals. Harema with the ball with a nice spin off the left side of the line, picking up about 3 yards. That was a big offensive play, Steve, and if they do that enough times, it sort of demoralizes the defense when you break off those big plays like that.
Yeah, it does. I know that Grandville's defense, they pride themselves on playing tough. They're well conditioned and they're well coached, so they're going to keep coming at Jenison. But you're right, it does set you back a little bit to have one broke like that.
Herb Siegler, the first-year coach over at Grandville. Hooper calling out signals on about his own 5-yard line. One setback. It's Harema. He gives it to Harema off the right side for about 2 more yards. They'll bring up a 3rd and goal. Well, they can pick up a first down, I guess. No, they cannot pick up a first down without scoring. So the ball's on about the 3-yard line.
Right, it's 3rd and goal. It'll be interesting to see the play call here. Jenison may go to the air and try to score one. I thought they were going to throw the ball there, but they're continuing to run it up the middle. Let's see what happens.
You got the speed and power, 22 Stroh and 30 Harem in the backfield. C.J. Hooper behind his center, Schmucker on the 4-yard line. The give is to Harema. Oh, no, excuse me. The give is not to Harema. The give is over to take me out. Number 14 for the Wildcats.
Hooper made a real nice read there. Could have given it to Harema. Decided to take it himself.
Optioned the ball.
He had nothing but end zone.
Here's a replay. It was such a good play. He optioned the ball into Harema, kept it himself, and walked in the end zone, didn't he, Steve?
Yeah, he sure did. A lot of the Grandville guys bid on that fake, so there's you can't put a price on a great fake inside because he took about 4 Grandville guys with him, and nice play all around.
Took me with him, too. Eric Anderson back to attempt the extra point. Ball set down, up, and it is good. Tie ball game, 7-all. Wildcats on a nice drive of about 65, 70 yards answered the 95-yard touchdown run on the opening play of the game.
The Jenison offensive line, they're just a big group of young guys. They're led by mostly seniors, all seniors, in fact, with the exception of Kyle Roz. These are experienced guys and they're big guys, and they really pounded open a lot of great holes there.
So with 8:21 to go, 7-7, still plenty of light out. The lights have been on since we got here tonight. Big crowd, both sides filled. This is a big rivalry, as we said before. So we're in for a pretty good game, looks like.
Well, I think Jenison accomplished exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to not have that first drive shake them up. They came back, they put together a nice drive, starting at their own 30 and took it right down the field, and it's going to set the stage for an excellent game.
So going back again, deep to receive for the Bulldogs, we've got Waringa going back deep along with number 9, Jeremy Vanderveen, and 33 for the Bulldogs, Kurt Fierick. This time I'm sure the Wildcats are going to try and make a good coverage, go down and make amends for that last touchdown. Waringa. This time Waringa is brought down at about the 18-yard line.
That was a very good tackle there by number 20.
Replay. You see Waringa go up the middle. They hit by number 9.
Actually,
number 9.
Rick Bolheis came in and make a real nice tackle, wrapped him up and pulled him down at the about the 20-yard line.
Good. Kevin Doyle at quarterback for the Bulldogs. Behind him is John Lee, 38, Jeremy DeWitt, number 44, and Tim Hausman, number 21. That wing T offense. Doyle keeps the ball. He has a receiver wide open.
Got him open, and he's going to be taken down.
On the 4-yard line, Harriman brings him down on a big play, big offensive play.
Well, boy, Doyle puts a nice throw on this ball. He sees who he's going to throw it to all the way, and cross-handed throws it up, puts a nice spire on that. And I tell you what, Waringa had to slow down just a step to pick that up, but it was a great pass and a great catch.
About a 45, 50-yard pickup. So 2 big plays by the Bulldogs. They've had 2 offensive plays, and they've taken advantage of both. Kevin Doyle, 6'2", 180, calling out signals. Behind him, we have John Lee, 38, Jeremy DeWitt, 44, and Tim Hausman. Ball given in to John Lee, 38. No gain on that play, very little gain, if any.
No, that was a good stop on the Jenison defensive front. They got good penetration, and there was absolutely nothing there for Lee.
The offensive line for the Bulldogs averaging 245. That's the 2 tackles are Justin Scott, Robert Holden. The guards are Hogerhide, Holland, and center is number 57, Ryan Roberts, 6'3", 220. So they're pretty good size from tackle to tackle.
Yeah, they average about 250 pounds across the front, and there are not a lot of high school teams that can claim fame to that.
Kevin Doyle, quarterback, on the 38-yard line with second and about 9.
And he might break this all the way, guys. Boy, what a great play.
Jeremy Vanderveen. I'll tell you, there's some great thinking in the backfield on that play. That's going to be a great play to look back at and see what happened. Let's watch that again.
As you watch the replay, you'll see that. As you see the replay, you're going to see all the flow of both teams goes to the right, and the running back cuts it back up the middle, and the cameraman's going to catch him here in a second as he walks into the end zone. But very nice play by Grandville.
I know a number of the Wildcats were looking at the far side of the field for the flow of action, as you say, going to the right side, and it was a counter play back over to the left. So another big scoring play.
If I'm not mistaken, that run was by Jeremy Vanderveen, who's a sophomore. So what a great opportunity for a young man to score a touchdown in a very big game, and a very important game.
Kick is good.
Well, I have to admit to you there, I was watching Kevin Doyle all the way, and by the time I realized he didn't have the ball, Vanderveen was halfway to the end zone, if not at about the 5-yard line.
Good faking in there by the quarterback. That was a fast drive. They took the ball on the 18-yard line within a matter of about 5 plays. They're in the end zone with the big play, the key play being the long pass play to Brett Waringa for about 55-yard gain. And then a couple of plays up the middle, and they break the big counter play back over the left side of the line to make it 14-7 in favor of the Bulldogs with 6:54 to go in the first quarter. Brandon Irwin teeing the ball up on the 40-yard line. Jenison's about ready to field their receivers back there. They'll probably put Harriman back deep. Aaron Dawkins is sorely missed, number 27, who played last week. He's a sophomore. They've got, for going back deep, McCarty at one side, and then on the other side, number 80 for the Wildcats is Grigorski, Eric Grigorski. Grigorski, McCarty, and Harriman deep. Oh, we have a flag down. McCarty up to about the 25-yard line, so there is a flag down.
Yeah, there's a flag on the play, and it's back into, looks like it's going to be a clipping penalty.
Here's a replay. Let's see if we can pick up the clip. McCarty picks up the ball on the 15-yard line. Yeah, there was a clip in there.
Yeah, it looked like there was a clip there, possibly. We can't pick that up for sure. But I saw one young man laying on his back, and it looked like he was a little bit surprised by it too. So it looks like that's going to hurt Jenison, put them back to their own 12-yard line.
Well, the one key thing that's in their favor is that they do have 1st and 10. It's not going to be like 1st and forever here. C.J. Hooper at quarterback. 2 backs deep. 2 players set up to the far side. They bring down Hooper.
Nice tackle by Chappell. He's a strong guy. He basically went up and one-armed Jenison's quarterback and took him down for a nice stop. It looks like the Jenison center is going to have a night of work cut out for him with Chappell.
Chappell's 6'2", 220, so he's a pretty good-sized kid. That nose guard, number 99, as you say, he's no match for a Hooper. It's 5'8", 160, so he's giving away about 80 pounds. What is his 40, 60 pounds there?
Yeah.
Number 80 for the Wildcats, split out far right. Grigorski. 2 backs in the backfield.
What a great play.
Harriman picks up the 1st down. Harriman's got both power and speed. Started last year as a sophomore, picked up over 1,100 yards as a sophomore. Just pulled Jenison out a little bit of trouble there. Brings up a 1st. Now should have moved the change down.
Yeah, you're right. Harriman he's a strong man. He can run well, and at 6 foot 215, he's built like a running back, and he's got good speed.
Here's a replay of the previous play. Watch Harriman just bull his way over for the 1st down here. Breaks a tackle there. Breaks Mike King, that free safety. Hooper under center. 1st and 10.
Boy, he's up the middle. Boy, what
up
a
the
nice
middle.
play
Quick
by
hole.
Jenison.
He's still running. Tackle from behind. Number 40. Number 40 for the Bulldogs. Brent Gritter playing defensive tackle, making the stop, but not until after for the 1st down on the 41-yard line, 42-yard line. So Jenison's moving the chains. 84 is coming out. 81 going in.
The center, Schmugger and Branch, the guard, did a great job blocking there. Number 64 did an excellent job.
Number 69 for the Bulldogs goes in, that 400-pounder at right tackle on defense. Harriman right up the middle off the right side of the line, breaking more tackles down to the 45-yard line, breaking into Bulldog territory.
Boy, another good run by Harriman, but the offensive line of Jenison is getting good penetration, and we're going to have to keep an eye on those Grandville linebackers and see what's happening there, because they're going to have to step up and fill the middle of the field there. Jenison has not gone to the air yet, and nor have they had to.
Here's a replay. Watch Harriman break a tackle or 2 here.
Well, it's just a quick play up the middle, and by the time the linebackers from Grandville got to the play, they were about 6 yards off the ball.
Hooper keeps the ball with a nice head fake down to the 35-yard line of the Bulldogs. Close to a 1st down. In fact, I believe it is a 1st down. Depending upon where they spot the ball, this is going to be very, very close. Either brings up 3rd and short, or it'll be 1st and 10. I believe we're going to probably have 3rd and inches. Bales brings the play in. Racine coming up. I guess it's 2nd inches, so not as bad as I thought. This is sort of a free play for him down here in the 35 and 4 down territory. Hooper under center, 2 setbacks. Harriman with the ball off the right side of the line for about 6 yards. Again, he's showing you why he's the strong runner he is. Down to about the 27-yard line.
Well, I had a chance at that time to watch the center, Matt Schmucker, and he put a great block on Chappell, stood him up, pushed him back. Real textbook blocking by the entire offensive line of Jenison.
Having been a center yourself, you probably like to watch those centers.
Yeah,
right?
I do. You know, not enough attention is paid to those guys up front. They're doing the dirty work.
That's right. It takes 11 people to put that ball down, move it down the field. C.J. Hooper, quarterback, calling out signals, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Slips down, doubles back, and gives up about 3 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and long. Good penetration by the Bulldogs defense, Steve.
That was very good penetration by the Bulldog defense. They needed a nice stop there, and we'll get a look at it here. As you can see, number 69 from Grandville came in and plugged up a hole there big time. Big Pete Rinkus, and Pete goes about 400 pounds, and it looked like he was moving very well there.
Still in, too. Pete's still in there.
Pete's going to be a tough guy to move, and it's going to be interesting to see how this affects Jenison's strategy up the middle there off tackle.
Hooper's pitches it out to Harriman on the left side. He's run down by 45 from the Bulldogs. Josh Behrens
made a great play there. He ran that play down, and as a sophomore, 6'1", 220, he moves well and covered a lot of field on that play.
As a sophomore, Steve, he plays both offensively and defensively, so he'll be around for a couple more years after this year. He plays linebacker on defense, and I guess he just goes one way, so I misspoke myself. He just plays linebacker. I guess that's enough, though. If he's that good, we just soon keep him at linebacker. Not that I'm trying to show any partiality to Jenison, so see what happens here. Schmucker coming back out. Brings up 3rd and long. Hooper quarterback. Harriman in the backfield, along with Stroh, 22. White out to the left. Calling timeout. There must be some sort of a missed signal here. Well, the time was running down on the clock. They probably were losing time. They want to be picked up another 5-yard penalty for delay of game.
Well, that won't be the worst thing to happen to Jenison. They've got 3rd and long here, and this is an important down, and they're going to want to get this first down.
Tony Anise, the second-year coach from came from Ann Arbor Pioneer, and Tony's going out to talk to his offense, settle them down a little bit, and see if he can't get things under control a little bit. Do a little coaching out there. 2:38 to go in the first quarter, and a pretty exciting contest. Grandville on top, 14-7. I'm here with my son, Steve Peterson, doing a little play-by-play tonight.
Well, this game has been everything it's been cracked up to be. I'd like to see the offensive numbers by both teams, but there's been a lot of yards covered on the field tonight. And Jenison with some sustained drives and moving the ball well, and Grandville breaking open a couple of long plays to keep this game very exciting.
The one thing I would look for on this next play coming up is for Brandon Moss, that tight end number 99. Last week they were able to get him loose. He's got a deceptive speed for someone his size. Is watch for a ball in the air and watch for Brandon Moss, number 99, to be on the receiving end of a pass. I could be all wrong, but that's just my, and he is looking for someone. But again, that left side of the line breaks down. Moss
89, Jim Gainey came in, made an outstanding defensive play.
Moss was definitely the intended receiver. He'd broken down to about the 15-yard line. He was beating his man defensively, but as you say, the left side of that line. Here's a replay. Watch the defense just come in and smother C.J. Hooper right here. There's no chance for him to get that ball away.
I can guarantee you Coach Anise is not going to want his quarterback blindsided like that too many more times tonight, but a great defensive play by Grandville. Big key play.
Harriman on his 50-yard line, about ready to punt the ball away. The ball is a end-over rim punt. Going out of bounds right down on about the 3-yard line.
Whoa. I tell you what, that Grandville offensive kick returner had better stay away from the ball. He's got to grab it or get out of the way.
That's right.
Because if that ball touches him down there, there's 3 Jenison guys that are ready to jump on it.
It's live ball once the offensive player touches it, right?
That's absolutely right.
So Grandville takes over on approximately the...
Looks like at about the 2-yard line.
To pin them down deep. Wildcats are hoping to hold them down a little bit to keep this defense, get this defense cracking here a little bit. Kevin Doyle, 6'2", 180, quarterback, number 11. Behind Ryan Roberts, 57, their center. Probably nothing fancy from this position on the field. Doyle just rolls out. This actually could be called for intentional grounding. He was tackling number 44 for the Wildcats, heading by the jersey. Todd Snip. Here's a replay, and then he released the ball with no receiver actually in the area. So watch him be wrapped up here by 44. He throws the ball to no one in particular on the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that was a very heads-up play by Kevin Doyle. He's a senior quarterback and a very smart play. From talking to some of the coaches, he's a real leader, and he's not going to make too many mental errors down this deep.
I'm surprised, though, Steve, in that play, there was no receiver open over there. He just sort of like dished it off there on the 5-yard line. So I guess it was a heads-up play on Grandville's part. Doyle calling out signals. And that ball that was close to a safety. That's great defense on the Wildcats. Nothing fancy. We can't pick up on the runner, but
well, it's difficult to pick up the tackle on that play, but that young man, and it might have been Maz, made an outstanding defensive play.
Joe Farber, 76, is checking in. They're pulling out 52 temporarily. That's Ryan Schmoes is coming out.
I think at this point, Grandville's got to consider getting themselves some breathing room. Unless they get that first down, they're going to be punting from deep in their own territory. Key thing here is to make sure you don't have any exchange problems with the quarterback in the center. You'd hate to fumble the ball down this deep. Just get a play, get yourself some breathing room, and set up for a punt.
3rd and 12. Doyle quarterbacking. I think there's going to be a penalty for too much time, Steve. There's a flag down. The only thing I can consider is there's got to be time from the position of the foul call.
And that's
delay of game.
Like it is.
Delay of game. Doesn't move the ball very much, so probably not more than the length of a football. They're down now on the goal line, 3rd and about.
Well, what Grandville may have been trying to do is draw Jenison off sides just to give himself a little breathing room, but Jenison's defensive line did a great job. Watched the ball and didn't move.
Heads up play by the Wildcats. Kevin Doyle is in. Well, it's going up. I'll bring up a punting situation. The ball was.
That play went nowhere. They tried to do something up the middle there, but Jenison, again, a great defensive stop by Jenison. Grandville's going to hope now just to get a punt off, make a defensive play to stop himself.
Number 11, Kevin Doyle, the quarterback, is back to kick. Deep to receive for the Wildcats, Brent McCarty, along with Harriman on the far side. McCarty on the near side. Quarterback right in his own end zone, kicks the ball out, end over end. McCarty picks the ball up on his 32-yard line, breaking off to his right side.
Fumble there.
Picks up the ball.
Boy, what a break for Grandville. Number 60 for Grandville came down on that play. Kevin Scott, who's a 6'3 junior, 185 pounds, running real well.
Here's a replay. Kevin McCarty had all the intention in the world to bring that ball down the field, but he got someone hooked his arm here, and there it is. You're right. Number 60.
Nice defensive play by Kevin Scott.
Big break for the Bulldogs, so now they've got 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line with 1 second to go in the first quarter.
Well, it just goes to show you how important the special teams are again. And once again, special teams have come up to haunt one team and help another.
Kevin Doyle giving it off to his difficult to pick up that number from here, but I'm going to say it might have been John Lee, 38, with the ball. We'll see as he comes up. Oh, it's 21. That's Tim Hausman. He's a 5'7", 175-pound senior. That wing T offense. That's the end of the first quarter, with the score 7-14. So it's been sort of a seesaw battle with the big play, Steve. The big kickoff return that Grandville had, and then the Jenison offense came back out and marched it down and tied the game at 7 apiece. And then Grandville punched one in. So what are your observations of this first quarter, Steve?
Well, you pretty much summed it up. The interesting thing was on the initial score of the game, it was about a 90-yard run by Wieringa. The Jenison kicker put a great kick on the ball, got it up in the air, and Wieringa picked it up and ran it all the way in. So a great way to start the game. But Jenison came back strong. They didn't say die, they came back. And Hooper came back with about 8:21 left in the first quarter with a keeper of himself and ran it in all the way. So that was an outstanding play. Not to be undone by Vanderveen, who scored on about a 50-yard touchdown himself with 6:54 to play. And there you have it. That's 3 touchdowns in an exciting first quarter.
Other games around the OK Red tonight at West Ottawa is at East Kentwood, while Mona Shores goes out to Grand Haven, and Holland is over at Rockford. So the OK Red is definitely underway for another year of activity. So Grandville takes over right now. We have second and about 8. Kevin Doyle, the quarterback, DeWitt fullback, John Lee at halfback, and Hausman at the halfback position. Wing T. Doyle calling out signals. Nice tackle by number 37, the inside linebacker for the Wildcats, Matt Waringa.
Yeah, Jeremy Vandermeer didn't have the room that he needed to break one like he had before, but again, it was a very nice stop by the defensive line for the Wildcats. That play looked to me a little bit slow in developing, which may have caused that defensive tackle to have a chance to make the play.
Brings up third and about 8. Third and 8. Doyle at quarterback. Hausman goes to his right. Doyle looking for his hit. He's hit by actually the defender, Scott Dodds, number 88, hit him as he's about ready to release the ball, and made a great defensive play on Doyle right there. Boy, hope we can cue this one back up, but you'll watch 88 go in and make a nice hit on the quarterback. Watch number 88 break loose and put a hit on Doyle.
Well, no disrespect intended for 88, but Maz came up, I think, and got the bulk of the quarterback, put a good hit on him. But both guys are there and made a nice play.
Wearing it back, deep to receive, along with McCarty. This time McCarty's going to put some glue on his hands. Back to kick Kevin Doyle on his own 15-yard line. A nice spiral, low spiral. That time Harriman picks it up on the run. And
well, he's got some room, boy.
He's got some speed, too. Brought down there by number 55 for the Bulldogs. That would be Tim Nunn. Saved his touchdown. I would say he saved a touchdown, wouldn't you, Steve?
Yeah, he sure did. Nunn came up, made a great saving tackle there. But
here's a replay.
As you watch Harriman, he takes that thing on the run. It's a nice catch. A lot of times you don't put enough emphasis on just catching the ball in a situation like that, but he made a nice catch, and his momentum carried him up the field a long way.
Matt Schmucker goes out over center, 35-yard line. C.J. Hooper, quarterback, behind him. Waringa.
Harriman could be off to the races again.
Is just breaking tackles. He just ran through and ran over Brad Waringa at about the 15-yard line.
Well, the Jenison off.
Here's a replay. Let's watch Harriman run over. He just runs over people here as he breaks down here. Number 5 didn't want any part of him. Brought down by, I missed that number, but that was a great run by the junior Harriman, 6'1", 215.
Yeah, it was a good run, and again, Ross, Ashmore, Schumacher, Branch, and Farber are doing a great job up front.
Hooper quarterback, 1st and 10 on about the 12-yard line. It's given off into Harriman. Harriman brings it down to about the 4-yard line. About a 6-yard pickup.
Well, once again, Jenison is just establishing the field in the middle, and Harriman must be a well-conditioned running back because he's getting a lot of action tonight.
Now he's also playing free safety on defense as well. Then we have Sean Shane going in with an offensive play. 2 wideouts to the left here.
As you can see, Big Pete Rinkus has come in to help fill up the middle a little bit off tackle.
Harriman fighting for yardage right down to 1-yard line. That'll bring up possibly a first down, Steve, because they do have the opportunity to make a first down without scoring. And we could have 1st and goal here, or very close to it. Or we have 3rd and goal. It looks like 3rd and about maybe a half a ball for a first down. Well, they're going to call for a measurement. This would be a big opportunity for the Wildcats to score to tie this game up after giving up a couple of big touchdowns early in the first quarter. Number 80 checking in for the Wildcats, Grigorski. Shine coming out.
Looks like they got it by a half a football.
Brings up 1st and goal in, so they've got a whole new set of downs, 1st and goal. 9:20 to go, clock rolling, 2nd quarter, exciting game. 2 wideouts come out here to the near side. Harriman, Hooper quarterback, calling out signals. He gives it to Harriman, and Harriman, I believe, does score. Nice blocking, as you say, by that center, Matt Schmucker and Tracy Branch. Watch the offensive surge. Right in behind the center, Schmucker. 5'10", 210. As Tony Anisa said earlier, Steve, that the offensive line of Jenison has the opportunity to take the Wildcats a long way. It just depends on how much they want to sacrifice. They do have a great offensive line, as you can see on that surge.
Well, the nice thing about their offensive line is they're a group of big kids, and they're all very quick. They're they're quick on their feet, and they do a nice job.
Eric Anderson converts the extra point, so it ties the ball game up at 14 apiece with 9:06 to go in the half. Well, we'll see some highlights tonight on Channel 8. Wood TV's here tonight. A couple radio stations downstairs broadcasting. We've got people lined up around the field. WCET, happy to broadcast this game, and we'll be doing the Northview game and other games in the conference in the area around the rest of the year. We're happy to be here tonight. WCET has a great crew with the cameras out on each of the 25-yard lines, and Alan Dodd in the truck giving us some great pictures of what's going on tonight.
Well, I think right now the key to this game is that the Grandville defense has got to key in on Harriman running the ball. They're establishing a lot of momentum with their offensive line, and Harriman running the ball. The linebackers and defensive line have got to take that away from Jenison to have a hopes of making some stops here. I have a feeling that Jenison is going to continue to run the ball up the field until Grandville can step up and make a stop.
So Eric Anderson, I believe, is back out to kick off, deep to receive. Number 5, Wieringa. Watch number 5, Wieringa, deep on his 8-yard line, 5-yard line. We have a new kicker in there. Matter of fact, we do. Ball's picked up by 42 of the Bulldogs, and he's hit head on by 25. Big time hit by Eric DeBode.
Eric DeBode came up and really put a nice tackle on this young man, and did a nice job of wrapping him up and bringing him down. I heard that pop up here.
It was a great special teams effort. Number 89, the kicker for the Wildcats that time, was Adam White. Adam White, 89, kicking the ball off. Tony's talking to the ref about something. I'm not sure what it is, but Tony Anise has something to say to the official here on the sidelines on about the 35-yard line. Jim Norton standing there at the 35-yard line, trying to listen on what's going on there a little bit. Kevin Doyle, quarterback. Behind him is Jeremy DeWitt, John Lee, and Tim Hausman in the backfield. Wing T right. Pitches out to Hausman, and he's hit.
Boy, you know, Moss did a great job there. The offensive lineman stood him up, made a nice play, but Moss stayed, kept his ground, stood him up back, and stuck with the play, made a nice tackle. That was a very strong defensive play.
Here's a replay. Watch the nice defensive play by, what you say, number 99 Moss. He sticks him right around the midsection, right in the numbers.
Good gang tackling by Jenison. They had about 8 green jerseys on that running back.
71, Todd Gregg coming out. That brings up 2nd and 8 with 8:24 to go in the first half. Kevin Doyle, quarterback. Wing T. Handoff is to Hausman, and he's met by a host of tacklers for the Wildcats, the first of which was number 44 coming up late from his inside linebacker position, Todd Snip.
Yeah, Hausman made a nice hard run there. Grandville's got to get some more runs just like that under their belts. He came off tackle and ran real well.
Joe Farber plays offensive line. He's going in on defense as he did a little bit earlier. That brings up 3rd and about 3. This is a big play right now for the Jenison Wildcat defense to see if they can put the stop on the Bulldogs right now. 3rd and about 2.5. Kevin Doyle, quarterback. Wing T, right. He had a full house backfield for a while there. Now he's got Wing T right. Goes Hausman again. This time he breaks a few tackles. Breaks 2 tackles, and he picks up the first down. Left a couple of wild tracks in his trail there.
Well, Coach Siegler's an experienced coach, and if something works for you, go right back to it. And that's exactly what they did. And once again, Hausman made a nice run off the tackle.
Here's a replay. Let's see if we can pick up a little bit of what happened here as he breaks a few tackles here. There's 1, 2. Nice run by, give all the credit to Tim Hausman, number 21. He's only 5'7", 175, but he runs hard, real hard.
Real strong blocking by the right side of that Grandville offensive line to spring him open.
Kevin Doyle dropping back to throw the ball. He's got a receiver open on about the 10-yard line. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Racine. 80, I believe, Grigorski, I believe, picked up that ball, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, or did he knock it down, Steve?
No, he's knocked the ball down. That's going to come back.
That's Grigorski. Actually, here's a replay. Oh, I thought he had the ball, but apparently not. He did have the ball, but then
he lost it. I'll tell you what, it looked to me like there might have been offensive pass interference on there by the Grandville receiver. He looked like he pushed off a little bit, and Grandville got away with almost an interception.
Brings up 2nd and 10 on the 42-yard line with 6:42 to go. Stops the clock with that incomplete pass.
Well, it's good play calling. Grandville does run the ball up the field a little bit. They thought they might take a chance and break one open.
Number 11, Doyle, drops back again on his 45-yard line. This time 61, who was a late insert. He didn't play last week at that spot, but yeah, Chris Laddick.
Chris Laddick came up and made a nice play. I don't know if he got a hand on the ball or not, but he definitely blocked the view of the receiver. And otherwise, it looked like it was a very catchable pass.
We were watching Kevin Doyle in the pregame warm-ups, and he does have a pretty good arm. We saw him drop back on probably the 35-yard line. He was throwing bullets right down in the end zone, so he does have the arm strength if he gets the time to throw the ball to get the ball into that receiver. They only had one receiver out that time. Good offensive blocking by the line for the Bulldogs. Kevin Doyle, quarterback, 6'2", 180. Wing T left this time. And he hands the ball. No, he fakes the handoff.
He's got two guys open. He can get it away. Boy, that was a great defensive play by number 33 for Jenison. He really rushed him, did a nice job, and that was Dustin Manning along with Moss. Really put a lot of pressure on Doyle, which didn't allow him enough time to make that pass because he had two guys open.
That was a great defensive play. They did put pressure on Doyle to get rid of the ball. Had he had time to deliver the ball, he may have thrown it in for a strike. Number 3 back to kick for the Bulldogs is Mike King, deep to receive Harriman, and on the near side.
Looks like Grandville's missing a player here. They need to get somebody out on the special teams.
We're going to call timeout, I guess, so we're going to have a timeout with 6:31 to go in the half. This is WCET. I'm Don Peterson along with my sidekick tonight, Steve Peterson, bringing you play-by-play action. This game will be replayed tonight at 11:30 on Channel 50, serving Jenison, Grandville, and Hudsonville.
Well, it's really turning out to be a great night for football. I had a chance on Wednesday to go over and talk to the Grandville coaches a little bit, and I'll tell you the thing that first of all amazed me was before the team came out, I had a chance to look at Grandville's new facility. Their new school over there is just outstanding. There are not too many schools in the state that have facilities such as that, and also had a chance to look at the football field. And what a great opportunity for those young men to come up and take advantage of the new facilities over at Grandville. And I'll tell you as well, Jenison's doing a lot of remodeling here, and these are just two Class A operations.
Class A in nature and Class AA in standing.
That's right, absolutely.
So we have A's and AA's. Back to kick King on about the 38-yard line, about the 40-yard line. Not much of a rush. In sort of a spiral kick. Harriman picks the ball up on the 10-yard line. He ran through a couple of tacklers over there and brings the ball down to about the 25-yard line. So the Wildcats will take over with 6:20 to go on the punt by King.
Well, that's a good play by number 26, Zeke Cardenas. He's not a large guy by any means. He's 5'8", 165, but he put every bit in front of Harriman and just enough to slow him down and stop that play.
So the ball's on about the 23-yard line. Schmucker coming out over the ball. C.J. Hooper, quarterback, number 14. Harriman behind him. Moss drops back, moves over. Is going to be a 250 fullback. That means he'll put one kid up on the line. The give is to Harriman, and for no gain. They ran that play last week, Steve. It was the first play of the game, and it gained about 10 yards. But how'd you like to have a 250-pound fullback at the high school level blocking for you?
Well, Jim Gainey stepped up and took him on, and unfortunately took a little bit of a ride. But Moss has a few pounds on him. Gainey only goes about 175 pounds, but he's probably a tough guy, and he stood up and gave him all he wanted.
2nd and 10, no gain. Clock moving. Harriman in the backfield. Hooper at quarterback, calling out signals. Again, Moss drops back over again, goes back at fullback's position. Right back to Hooper, back to pass. Open is Racine, 81 is Racine for the first down on about the 40-yard line. Or is that 81 as a receiver? Jeff Racine. Here's a replay. Watch 81 come over from the right side of the line, crossing over, and driven out of bounds by Bulldogs on the 4-yard line. Big offensive play for the Wildcats.
Jeff Racine really ran a nice pattern there, and boy, there's sharp patterns and good crisp running of routes. Makes all the difference in the world for successful pass playing. He ran a real nice pattern there.
C.J. Hooper is sort of coming over the sidelines, asking Tony and East what he wants to run. There's a there's a penalty of some kind. I must have missed. There's a holding or personal foul against the Wildcats. Personal foul will bring up a 1st and 25, I believe. I didn't see the penalty, but Tony Anise is talking over with the official.
Well, that's one thing Jenison can't afford is mental mistakes, because that was a big first down play, and that puts them back down now to the 29-yard line.
So we have 1st and 10 from the 25. The give to...
Boy, he stood up. Great job by the Grandville defense. Boy, that's a momentum changer right there. I'll tell you, Grandville, if they can step up and make a big stop here, that would definitely get the momentum back on their side here.
I would like to have seen what happened on that previous play with the personal foul. We saw, Racine make a nice catch in the 40, and we thought there was a first down for the Wildcats, but it's a big break for the Bulldogs. Brings up 2nd and about 11. 2 wideouts split off far right. Grigorski to the right. Hooper quarterback. Harriman in the backfield, along with Stroh. Quarterback carrying the ball down to about the 30-yard, almost the 30-yard line. They'll bring up about 3rd and about 6.
Well, you can see Grandville, they're a group of tough hitters. They're playing some real scrappy defense right now, and this is a key play for them. They've got 3rd and 6, as you say, and they need a big defensive stop here. If I was them, I would key in on number 30, Harriman, and see if they can't get a stop.
We have a penalty flag, Steve. Another handkerchief going up in the air. Now we'll see if there's maybe an infraction on the offensive line. Maybe someone's helmet, maybe across the line of scrimmage. I didn't see anybody move. Illegal procedure called against the Wildcats. I would say there's probably someone maybe was lined up across the line of scrimmage. Would you say? Yeah,
it looks like that because they blew the whistle right before the play. I didn't see any movement at all.
No, it had to be lined up across the line. So that brings up 3rd and 10 with 4:17 to go. The score tied 14 apiece on a good game, and the OK Red to start the league play. 81 coming out of the game is Racine. C.J. Hooper brings him up to the 25-yard line.
Well, Coach Sigler's got to want a big stop here.
2 setbacks, pro set in the backfield.
They're going after their big tight end.
It is Moss out there, but the ball doesn't quite get to him. He had a little bit of time to get rid of the ball, but we have a Grandville Bulldog player down, slow to get up, number 89 for the Bulldogs. That's Jim Gainey. Jim Gainey goes both ways. He's a 6'1", 175 senior, 2-way starter, plays linebacker, and he also plays the tight end position on defense.
Well, the interesting match there was Zeke Cardenas stood up, didn't stand him up, but played a nice defensive play on Moss there and took him off his pattern, and that's saying a lot for a guy that's 5'8", 165. Tough young guy.
Harriman back on the 10-yard line, about ready to kick this ball down to the Bulldogs, standing at around the 45-yard line, so they have an opportunity to put one more in if they can before the half's over. There's a nice spiral.
Nice punt.
Beautiful punt, picked up on the 40. Gives a little ground, breaks a couple of tackles, and it's nailed pretty good right there by 70. If we can pick his number up.
It looked like it was number 33 there, Dustin Manning, if I'm not mistaken.
Dustin Manning making the stop. Nice stop by Dustin Manning. I believe you're right. Here's a replay. Number 33.
Dustin Manning along with Todd Snip made a nice defensive stop, but Grandville's got the ball to 50.
With 3:42 to go, I would look to see the Bulldogs put the ball in the air a little bit. They showed like they want to throw that ball. Well, last time they had it. So here we go. Kevin Doyle, a quarterback, wing T left. Oh, he just stood right up on the line of right number 71. Todd Gregg put a nice stop on him, if I believe I'm correct on that number. 71 made a nice stop.
Yeah, again, Dustin Manning as well was in that play, and that's 2 big plays for him.
Linebacker 37, Matt Wieringa, looking for signals from the sideline, playing the inside linebacker position. Ryan Roberts, 57, the center for the Grandville Bulldogs, comes out of the huddle, goes up over the ball. Kevin Doyle, quarterbacking. 3:10 to go in the first half, 14 apiece. 2nd and 10. He's dropping back. He's giving the ball off to Hausman.
Well, you know, Chris Ladding came in from the defensive end position, or the cornerback position actually, and stayed home, really played that play nicely, and turned the back upfield and also made the tackle.
The key, Steve, right here is 3rd and about 9, 3rd and 8 to go. The Wildcats have got to put a stop on right here because they get past the 40-yard line to get down into 4-down territory.
Right.
And there's plenty of time on the clock. I would look to see the ball go in the air here for sure, 3rd and 8. Back Harriman, number 30, and number 80 to defend is Grigorski. Kevin Doyle dropping back.
Oh, you got to watch out.
He's brought down by a great job by Moss, number 99, and along with 33, Manning on the stop.
Yeah, Moss and Manning, great defensive play. Moss got a hold of him.
Here's a replay. Watch the replay. Watch the defense just come in and take him down right there with no chance to get rid of the ball for a 5-yard loss, bringing up a 4th and 15.
Boy, at some point, Lee's got to say to himself, this guy's not buying off on the fake. I got to put a block on him and help my quarterback out.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I got 2:11 to go in the half on a 14-14 ball game with Grandville Bulldogs within possession on their own 45-yard line. So we'll probably see a kick here, I would think. The Wildcats are over talking to Coach Tony Anise. They came back over again. They were going to break huddle, but now they're back over.
Well, Grandville had a great opportunity with about 3:42 left in the half from their own 50 to sustain a drive and chew up some time and try to get in for a score. But Jenison stepped up and stopped them, and they've got about 4th and 15 here.
So number 30, who does everything for the Wildcats, Harriman drops back to about his 25-yard line. King 3 for the Bulldogs from his own 30-yard line. Back to punt. Long snapper, back, kicks that ball end over end. Watch for Harriman to pick this ball up on the run. He's not afraid to pick the ball up and run. He runs by 3 tacklers, breaks the tackle, and goes out of bounds on about the 35-yard line.
Well, Jenison definitely had a punt block play in place, and they had 4 guys all over their punter, rushed him, and Harriman made a nice grab, cut it upfield, and turned 10 yards out of that return.
One thing, Steve, about Harriman is he doesn't look to fair catch too many balls. In fact, this year I've noticed the Wildcats have not been fair catching any more than they'll take the ball any chance they get and they'll go with it. In years gone by, the Wildcats had tendencies to let the ball just kind of come down and roll and take the ball from there, but good heads-up play by the Wildcats.
Well, let's see if Jenison airs it out here. They've got 2 minutes and about from their own 35-yard line.
Moss again goes back at fullback. Gives off to Harriman. Harriman's just Harriman and by himself, and he's going to run over a couple people. Puts it down. Number 24 for the Bulldogs brings him down. That's Al Smith on about the 35-yard line. That's with 1:53 to go in the contest. 14, C.J. Hooper. Here's a replay. Watch Harriman just break right up the middle. Good block by Moss. Another nice block out there by number 80, Racine. And then Harriman just does the rest on his own. C.J. Hooper from the 40-yard line. Lone setback.
Oh, that play is destined to...
It was a option play left that didn't happen.
It looked like the back didn't get to the hole quick enough. Left Hooper kind of hanging out there, waiting to make his fake, and the defensive players came up behind and made a nice stop on him.
Yeah, no huddle.
Jenison's going to a no-huddle offense here. They're going to see if they can punch this in.
Hooper calling signals. Handoff is into Harriman.
Great defensive play by Grandville. They've made 2 nice stops here.
I'm not sure if the Wildcats have any timeouts left. Apparently they do not have one. So we have now 3rd and about 11 to go with 1:08 to go and the clock going down. 1:06. Still rolling down. This is a key play right now. We have 3rd and 11. Need to pick up a first down here. C.J. Hooper calling out plays. Bulldogs go offside, so that'll bring up 3rd and a little short. It helps a little bit, right?
Well, it helps a little bit. And Chappell, he's the guy closest to the ball, and you hate to see your man closest to the ball move, but the Jenison quarterback probably pulled him off sides, and it was well done.
Right. The big thing is it stops the clock too with 51 seconds to go in the half. I would say that right now the Wildcats would love nothing more than to be able to get at least in the field goal position before the half runs out. The clock now rolling at 42 seconds to go. 2 wideouts to the left. Harriman in the backfield. C.J. Hooper calling out signals on the 30-yard line, 35-yard line.
He's keeping it.
It's keeping
it. Nice play.
A nice defensive stop in there by 45. That would be Josh Barron for the Bulldogs. This time, the Wildcats do call timeout. They apparently had one left.
Well, you can see, again, the Grandville defense takes pride on making defensive stops. There was 3 guys gang tackling there. They did a nice job to stop the ball there, and Jenison's got about 4th and 6.
What I would look for the Wildcats to do is come back with a play that they tried earlier where they have Racine break out a crossing pattern and maybe run the ball out of bounds, at least pick up a first down and put themselves in an opportunity to go into the end zone from, I don't know if they can get in the end zone from the 39-yard line, but if they can pick up first down, they have plenty of time to get into the end zone, possibly with 2 more offensive plays with 28 seconds on the clock.
Well, Jenison's done a nice job of mixing up the plays tonight, going off tackle with Harriman. They've also looked for their tight end, Moss, a few times, and they've made some nice pass plays as well. So it's up for grabs as to what they're going to do here.
Jenison showed a nice screen play last week when they played Hudsonville. They ran the screen pass a couple of times for some pretty good yardage. So I don't know if they would try that particular play now, but again, we have big number 69 entering the game for the Bulldogs. Pete Rinkus at 6'4", 400 pounds. So I don't think I want to run the ball on the left side of the line too well. C.J. Hooper calling up signals on the 35. He's definitely looking for number 30, Grigorski. They're calling him down on the 32-yard line. He did touch a knee down.
Yeah, he did. It was a nice catch by Grigorski. He touched his knee, but great catch, and should be a first down. They might have to measure. No, that's a first down.
That's a big first down play. So, okay, here's a replay. Here's C.J. Hooper from his own. Oh, that stops the clock. The only thing good about that play is that Racine stopped the clock by missing the ball. Had he picked the ball up, he'd have been down and the half would have been over. This way we have 3, actually, the Wildcats have 3 more downs to put in the end zone with 16 seconds to go in the first half.
Boy, looking at number 79 there, Carl Ross. He's 6'6", 255. He's a big tackle. He's only a junior, and he's playing a real nice game tonight.
Hooper quarterback, calling out signals. 2 receivers out wide right. Hooper back to throw. He's got a player. It's overthrown. Waring on the end zone had no chance to knock it away, but it stops the clock with 10 seconds to go. He's going to the end zone, Steve, as we thought that he might.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 seconds to go. Throw it up in the corner there and see if he can find someone to run underneath it.
He threw the ball from the 40, so he had the ball in the air a good 40 yards on an angle across the field, so he probably had 45 yards of air on that ball. Fales coming out. Matt Schmucker at center. He's over center. Hooper quarterback. 10 seconds to go. Dropping back to throw the ball. He hits number 80 on that again. That's Grigorski.
Grigorski, another nice
6 seconds. I think that's a first down too, Steve. Very close to it. It's a big, let's replay.
Looks like the same pass pattern they had just run. Grigorski, real smart play, gets out of bounds with 6 seconds to go. And he also made the first down.
Yeah, he picked up about 3 more yards, just enough for that first down with that last couple stutter steps.
Smart play to see the marker get out of bounds and stop the clock.
1st and 10.
We're going to go for a field goal here, looks like.
Eric Anderson from the 25, be a 35-yard field goal, and it's got a little leg. But by golly, it's good.
Hey, it doesn't matter how they look. If they go between the uprights, it's 3 points. So it's a great kick.
That's a big kick, and I'll tell you what, it just got over the bar, but we'll take that point, or the 3 points. Lee Jenison says they'll take it. So
absolutely.
So here's a replay. Watch the nice hole by 89. He gets credit. 89. That's Adam White. clears the deck, and over she goes for 3 points for a 17-14 Wildcat lead. Now, the only downside to this is that we've got to make sure for the Wildcats that Waringa, Waringa doesn't bring that ball back 95 yards again. I would look for just a squib kick on the kickoff. Probably not going to give them an opportunity to return anything this late in the first half.
I would agree.
Exciting ball game.
What was that kick? That was about a 35-yard field goal?
35-yard. It was kicked from the 25, so it was a 35-yard field goal.
Eric Anderson, nice kick. Put your team ahead, 17-14 going into the half.
I don't know who the long snapper is on that, but if it's a regular center, you know, that's a team effort by Schmucker, the holder, and the Adam White and the kicker. Actually, the holder was Adam White was the holder. That was Eric Anderson kicking the field goal. Adam White, just like we said before, just yeah, he's down. That's the end of the first half with a score 14-17 in favor of the Wildcats. It's an exciting first half, Steve. We've seen a lot of everything. We've seen the Bulldogs run 95 yards. We've seen the sustained drive by the Wildcats, the kind of score, and a few penalty flags thrown here and there.
Well, as you can see, the crowd here at Jenison, it's a full house, and they're all getting their money's worth. It's been a great game so far.
Well, this is Don Peterson along with my son Steve Peterson, and we'll see you at the third quarter. This is Don Peterson along with my partner tonight, Steve Peterson, calling the Grandville Bulldog Jenison Wildcat game Friday, September the 11th, 1998, over WCET Channel 50. This game will be rebroadcast tonight at 11:30 on Channel 50 and be seen in the Grandville, Hudsonville, Jenison area. An exciting contest so far tonight, Steve, with the score at 17-14, ending up the first half with that 35-yard field goal from Eric Anderson.
Well, it has. It has been a very exciting game. I tell you, I'm watching the Jenison band members coming in from their halftime performance, and those kids have worked up a sweat as well. So a fine job by the Jenison High School band, and very entertaining halftime.
I was just going to mention that last Friday the OK Red didn't start their league play, but the OK Red did have 5 wins and 3 losses. Jenison having defeated Hudsonville 29-6, Grandville defeating Detroit Cody 32-22, Holland over Hamilton 23-7, Grand Haven 22-14 over Muskegon Reeds Puffer, Rockford a victor over East Lansing in a close one 20-18. The only 3 losing teams, East Kentwood went to Detroit, played in the Pontiac Silverdome, and lost to Birmingham Brother Rice 6-26. Mona Shores was beaten by Muskegon Catholic Central 7-14, and West Iowa lost to Zeeland 14-35. So the OK Red started off on a pretty good foot. It's a tough conference, and as we've always talked about in the past years, that they kind of beat up on one another, and then when it gets in the playoffs, the team going to playoffs usually goes in with a few injuries. As of tonight, for example, we've got number 27, the sophomore Dawkins, out with an ankle injury, and the Wildcat offense could use his speed. He's got great speed, and for a sophomore, he plays both offensively and defensively.
Well, I think the key to tonight's game is that Grandville's defense has got to step up and stop Mitchell Harriman, who's having a nice game offensively. And I think they're up for the task. They've played Jenison tough tonight. It's a 3-point game at half, and I think it's a game. Once again, we said at the beginning, when it's Grandville and Jenison, you can take the state rankings and just toss them out the window, because these two teams are playing for pride. It's bragging rights, and for the senior guys playing in this game, this will be a game they're going to remember for a long time.
To start the contest, the Bulldogs had won the toss, elected to receive, and on the first play of the game, number 5, Brad Waringa, ran one back 95 yards. It stunned this crowd. It's a full house of about 7,000 fans out here, and it was pretty loud on the Grandville side. But again, Waringa for 95 yards on a nice run right up the middle, and cut to his left, and was all pay dirt from that point forward.
Yeah, it was. It was a real nice run, and he's a quick guy. He took that ball 90 yards, so it was a good long run, and did a nice job. But the instrumental part of the game was that Jenison came back, sustained a nice long drive themselves, And Hooper kept it, ran it in with about 8:21 left, so they came right back and tied it up, and boy, it's been back and forth since then.
Hooper, the quarterback for the Wildcats, number 14, is 5'8", 160-pound junior, and he's got a great offensive line in front of him, averaging about 230 pounds from end to end. That's Flieger, number 47, Cal Ross, 79, Ben Ashmore, 58. At center, Matt Schmucker, number 64. The right guard is Tracy Brandt, 62. Number 76, Joe Farber at the right tackle, and that big tight end, number 99, B.J. Brandon. In the backfield, they have Mitch Harriman, number 30, and number 22, Seth Stroh, the junior, and then Eric Grigorski, the wideout, number 80. Back deep to receive, 30, Harriman on about his 5-yard line. Number 2 for the Wildcats, Brett McCarty on the near side. On the far side, I can't pick up his number. I got to have better eyes.
Looks like number 80 over there on the far side for Jenison.
That's Grigorski on the far side over.
Grigorski made a couple of real nice catches at the end of the second half that put Jenison in the field goal territory. And if I was Grandville, I might think about maybe kicking away from Harriman if they have the opportunity to do that, because Harriman's really running the ball well on the special teams tonight. Brandon
Irwin teeing the ball up on his 40-yard line. Here we go, starting the second half. McCarty from his 15-yard line, up the middle, brought down by 2 Bulldogs on about the 33-yard line.
Well, 66 for Grandville came in and made a nice stop there on the Jenison runner, Joel Butts, and nice play by that young man.
So Wildcats take over on the 33-yard line and start the second half, 1st and 10. Schmucker comes out over the ball. Hooper 14 at quarterback. Harriman 30 at fullback. 2 wideouts to the left. Near side Grigorski. Moss moves back in the backfield as a fullback. Pitch out to Harriman, left side. Breaks a couple of tackles, runs over another man, puts on the Jets. Comes back inside and brought down by number 5, Brad Wieringa.
Well, number 3, Mike King, came up, and he did put a nice hit on Harriman, but just didn't wrap him up. Let's see if we can get a replay on that. It was a nice, well-done play by Jenison. As you can see, it's a pitch. He's got Moss leading the way, puts a nice block for him. He just cuts it up the middle. Number 3 came up and put a hit on him, but just didn't make a stop.
Brings up 1st and 10 on the 23-yard line. Big first down for the Wildcats. On the move. First set in the backfield. C.J. Hooper, quarterback. 2 wideouts far right. Pitches a counter play to Stroh for the touchdown. 22-yard score, 23-yard score, number 22.
Boy, Seth Stroh, boy's got some wheels. That young man has some good wheels. Jenison mixed it up well. Came off tackle, and Seth just ran it up and put on the afterburners there.
A little counter play, wasn't it, Steve? A little counter play back to the right side.
Yeah, it was a counter play and off tackle. Boy, the Jenison offensive line did a nice play. Let's catch the tail end of this play as he strolls into the end zone. He's a happy young man.
Number 45, Eric Anderson, back to attempt the extra point, holding Adam White on the 10-yard line. Sets the ball down, and it's kicked, and it is not going to be good this time. No penalty flags. Score 23-14. Jenison
like
on top.
There's a Grandville player that might have been shaken up a little bit on the play.
Wieringa 5.
Wieringa's up. He's ready to possibly grab another long run back here for another touchdown.
I'm sure the Wildcats want to prevent that. They took that little dose of medicine in the first play of the game, really sort of electrified the crowd here. So we've settled into a pretty nice little game here. A nice drive by the Wildcats, capped off by the one nice play, the big run here by Harriman. Was it Harriman?
Yes.
Harriman probably approaching somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 yards at this point in the game. I believe last week he picked up 66 yards on 11 carries, so he is the sort of the backbone of that offense. Number, like we said before, Dawkins out, although Stroh, 22, showed us why he's playing well tonight with the counter play off the right side for a 23-yard scamper in the end zone.
Well, I wonder if Eric Anderson plays basketball for the Wildcats. He's a tall, lanky guy. He's 6'6", 190 pounds, and I tell you, he's got a good leg, too. He's been putting the Grandville receivers back to about their own 10-yard line, and he's put it no less than inside the 10-yard line on all of his kickoffs tonight.
Back deep, number 5, Brad Wieringa. Anderson puts a nice end over end kick. Waring picks it up on the 10-yard line, goes right up the middle. One of the tackles is Chris Lattig on that stop, Steve.
Yeah, it was a good hard hit by him, and he's played a nice game tonight coming in. And here's a replay. We'll watch this, but they put a nice hit on him and upend him. Good surge, though, by the Grandville special teams to get it out to about the 28-yard line. Again, they need to sustain a drive. They need to take some time and gather themselves and come down and score here and get back in this ball game.
Kevin Doyle, number 11, a quarterback, 6'2", 180. Behind Ryan Roberts, a center, 57. Wing T right. Give in there to 38, John Lee, for very little gain.
Yeah, Lee makes very little gain. He made the most out of that play. There wasn't a lot there for him, but he turned it upfield, and he gained about 4 yards on that play.
Brings up about a 2nd and 7. Waringa, number 37, are looking for his play from his coach over here, defensive linebacker. I would look to see Grandville air it out here pretty soon just to loosen up that defense, because the Jenison defense is really starting to tighten things up pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure Doyle is ready to air it out. They've had a couple of nice pass plays this evening, and that player is well able to do that.
And just as we said that, Doyle breaks it off the right, and he's hit by, well, actually 61. It was the first player in there.
Chris Lattis made a nice play. He stepped up, made a nice defensive play. Moss was there to finish it off. So a nice team effort by the Wildcats. On the replay, you can see Lattis wraps him up, and Moss finishes off the job. Well done.
Brings up a 3rd and approximately 8. 3rd and 8. I would say this is a passing situation. Doyle brings him up to the line of scrimmage on the 30-yard line. Wing T. One wide out, far left. Kevin Doyle calling out signals. He's dropping back, and he's wearing number, is that 99 or 88?
That was the player number 88. Scott Dodds came out.
He was wearing 88 on his back. Scott Dodds came in, and just all he could see was 2 8s.
Boy, Scott Dodds, nice play. Let's take another look at that. Dodds comes up, makes a nice play.
Just walk in there and just take him right down.
What was even better was after the play, he gave Chris Lattis and Mark McGuire a high five. So nice play by Dodds.
Good sportsmanship. Back to receive. Harima, 30, along with number McCarty. Nice end-over-end kick. Taken in there by... Uh-oh, that's a loose ball. That could be anybody's ball right now. That's a loose ball.
Well, the Grandville players are saying it's their ball, and I think it is.
We'll see what happens. We won't say anything until the referees point that way. Right now, all of the Grandville Bulldogs say it's their ball.
You know, we made the point earlier in the game that if you're not going to catch that ball or fair catch it, you got to get away from the ball. And as you can see for Grandville, it's paid off with a turnover.
Okay, here's a replay. Watch the ball. Took a bad bounce really towards Grandville.
The receiver for that has got to step up and make that catch. I don't know if it was a miscommunication between the two players, but one of those guys has got to catch the ball.
That's happened. That's actually Grandville's best offensive play tonight, except for the touchdown run. But they've had 2 of those so far now, recovery. So I guess you make your own breaks. Hard-nosed football.
That's right. And here comes Grandville. They're poised from their own 50, from about the 50-yard line, the 48 of Jenison, to come in and make a score here.
1st and 10 on the 50. The Bulldogs quarterback Kevin Doyle calling signals. Hands it off in there to it would be Hausman right up the middle for no gain.
Yeah, that play did not work as well for the Bulldogs as they had hoped. Hausman and the quarterback had they bumped into each other a little bit. I don't know if he didn't hit the right hole or didn't get to the right spot, but that was not a good, well-designed play.
Ryan Smoes, 52, last man up off the pile.
I should rephrase that. It was probably a well-designed play, but just not performed as well as the Bulldogs would like.
Brings up a 2nd and about 9. John Lee, 38 in the backfield, along with Jeremy DeWitt, number 44. Tim Hausman, 21. Kevin Doyle fakes the ball in there, cuts it up the middle. And he's driven out of bounds by about 4 Wildcats on about the 41-yard line. It'll bring up third and about 2, 3rd and 3.
Doyle really made a nice play, as you can see by the replay, with 2nd and 9. He keeps the ball himself and makes a nice strong cut up field, and the linebacker, number 37 for Jenison, did finally step up and make the hit. So they've got about 3rd and 2 now. Good play.
Matt Waringa, the number 37 for the Wildcats. He's a senior. He's about 6'1", 190.
Matt's played a nice game this evening.
Key play right now with 3rd and about 3. Kevin Doyle, quarterback again. Ryan Roberts, center, 57, 6'3", 220. And we probably have got either a first or real close to a first down for the Bulldogs here.
Well, it was a real good effort by the running back for Grandville, number 9, Jeremy Vanderveen. He ran hard, and I think he might have got the first down.
Referee does say first down. That moves the chains down to the 39-yard line.
Boy, a good offensive back is always going to know where that first down marker is. Put his head down and keep churning until he comes down, and Vanderveen sure did a nice job there.
That punt fumble is starting to take its effects right now with Bulldogs on the move. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Kevin Doyle, quarterback. Wing T left this time. That was a miscommunications that time.
Looks like that was a fumble between the center and the quarterback, which is the first time that's happened tonight.
It was a replay.
Not a pretty play. I think what happened was the center snapped the ball on the wrong count, and when the center does that, the linemen have no other choice but to go as well.
But the backs didn't. Everybody went but the backs. Brings up 2nd and long.
Roberts was a little anxious there. Let's see if they can turn around and make something happen here.
Lee comes over the right side. The give is to Hausman to the right. Picks up about 5 yards off the right side of the line. Brought down by Waringa.
Again, Hausman made a nice run. Hausman's got to make sure to protect that ball as he's running with it. I saw a lot of football hanging out there, and I guarantee you Jenison's going to come in and try to make something happen on a turnover and make a break for themselves.
Tracy Branch, number 62, just checked in. Here's a replay.
If you watch the replay here, Hausman does make a nice run, but he's got to cover up that ball, protect it. Looked like the Jenison players are going to try to strip him here.
All right, 3rd and 3 on approximately the 32-yard line, 33-yard line in Jenison territory. Fake to Hausman. Doyle's got the ball. He's got end zone in front of him. Brought down by, I believe, number 80. Was that 88 Dodd? Number 88 Scott Dodd brings him down on a...
Doyle makes a nice run. Harrim was a very competitive athlete, good athlete. I know he's going to be upset with himself because he had Doyle stopped here. Didn't wrap him up, had a play there. Actually, Doyle made a real nice cut back in. Nice run on Doyle's part.
1st and 10.
Big play by Grandville.
On about the 12-yard line. I believe that's Hausman running with the ball.
Nice run by Hausman. I give Grandville offensive line credit here. They're starting to establish themselves, and they're not running out of gas at all. They're churning and burning up the field.
Number 73 for the Bulldogs is Robert Holden. He's 6'1", 280, that right tackle. Eric Holland, the senior at 195, playing right guard, playing both ways, running behind those two players in that particular play. Kevin Doyle hands the ball off.
Boy, nice run again by Hausman.
To Hausman.
He's got that ball down to about the 2-yard line, looks like. I'm not going to say that Grandville's offensive line is wearing Jenison out yet, but they're really doing a nice job here and pounding the ball up the field.
76 checking into the game. That would be Joe Farber.
Yes,
Dustin Boss, or not Dustin, Ryan Smoes coming out of the game temporarily. The ball down on about the 3-yard line.
Snip and Wieringa have got to step up here, make a play on the inside, and if they want to have a chance to make a defensive stop here, now's the time.
Doyle calling out signals. Hands it into, he's got the ball, he puts up in the air. His defender, actually his intended receiver, slips down in the end zone.
Well, I called Snip out on that, and boy, he sure did step up. He rushed the quarterback, forced him along with Chris Ladding to throw a bad pass. Here's a replay on this. You can see the defense really makes a nice surge here, forces him, and the ball's thrown behind the receiver. So nice play by Jenison.
That's fourth and goal on about the 3-yard line. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Score 23-14. Jenison on top. Grandville threatening.
Grandville wants to punch it in for a touchdown here.
Wildcat crowd calling defense. A little mix up there. Osman stops short of the first down. Big defensive play by the Wildcats, which will bring up, that'll turn the ball over to the Wildcats. That's a great stop down on about the 3-yard line after about an 80-yard drive.
Well, at the end of every game, you can look back at pivotal moments, and that was a big stop for Jenison. Had Grandville punched that in, it would have been a real close game, but Jenison makes a nice defensive play.
The big play, Steve, on that is the turnover down here on the punt after the Wildcat defense had stiffened up and held them for on downs, and Dodds had made the nice stop on the quarterback. They kicked the ball and turned it over, and the Bulldogs plowed down to about the 3-yard line where they stopped. So C.J. Hooper brings him out on the 3-yard line with 1st and 10. Not much room to run. He's keeping the ball himself and brings it out to about the 4-yard line.
If you get a replay on that, you can isolate on the 400-pound defensive tackle for Grandville. He really fills up a hole here. If you watch him, you can see him over center. He's hard to miss, but he fills up a hole, and there's not much going past him there.
That's good play by number 69 from the Bulldogs. Stroke coming out, 22. Not a lot of operating room for the Wildcats. It's 2nd and long from about the 3-yard line. Look for Harriman at number 30 to take this ball. It is Harriman. He brings him out to about the 6-yard line. Just digging it out of the end zone, just digging it out. Trying to get a little better field position.
Josh Behrens made a nice defensive play there. He came across and hit the quarterback just before, or just after he actually handed the ball off. And I tell you, the Grandville coaching staff must have a lot of faith in the sophomore, because it looks like he's their defensive captain and the play caller. So it looks like he's got a good 3 years left in a career here.
Sean Shane checks into the game. This is a big offensive play right now for the Wildcats with 3rd and about 6 on their own 5-yard line. Hooper calling out plays. Moss goes back, his pitch out to Harriman.
Boy, nice play by Chappell.
Big play by
Sorry, not Chappell. That was number 89, Jim Gainey. Made a nice play, fought off a block by Moss, came across, stood his ground, and really strung the play out for a nice stop. Big defensive play.
So, the Bulldogs will drop back a punt receiver, and number 21, that would be Tim Hausman, back to receive. Back to kick for the Wildcats is Mitch Harriman, right on the end line of his end zone. Ball is out of his hands. That's 2 points. That's a safety. That's 2 points. 2 points for the Bulldogs. Plus, the Wildcats will punt the ball from their own 20-yard line, I believe, to the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs get the ball back again.
That is correct. Boy, I'd like to see a replay on that.
That was a quick play that just happened really quick. I think that the kicker, Mitch Harriman, wasn't really ready for the snap. Here's a replay. Goes over his...
Well, unfortunately, it was just a high snap, and earlier I was going to compliment the Jenison center. He's done a real nice job of snapping the ball, but when you get pinned down that far in your territory, the nerves jump up on you a little bit, and he snapped the ball over the punter's head.
The big thing about that play is a 7-point difference now, bringing up the score of 23-16. So now a touchdown and an extra point ties this thing up. Jenison had a little bit of a cushion with that field goal in the late part of the second half, and then they came back with a score. So now things have taken down a little bit with the safety.
That's a good point. It's a one touchdown game now, and Grandville will get the ball back.
The Grandville Bulldogs have gone back to, they're used to going back to their 10, 15-yard line, but they're going to move it forward because we'll see a free kick from about the 20, I believe it is, which will probably wind up giving the Bulldogs decent field position for another drive downfield here. So the thing is the Wildcats will be putting their defense back out in that field again. They've spent a lot of time on the field in the third quarter.
That's a good point here. I was watching him in warm-ups, and he was really getting some good kicks off in warm-ups. Let's see if he can get a nice long punt here to get him out of trouble. And he did. Hold on, though. It looks like we're going to stop this play.
That was a big punt. I'll tell you what, you're talking about a 60-yard punt there from the 30 down to the 30. That's about a 60-yard punt in the air. A spiral went over the top of Waring's head, but there was unfortunately a penalty before or as he was kicking the ball.
You know, it's always a little bit easier to punt the ball when you don't have a group of guys coming in to try to block the ball. So he made a nice job, good concentration, good kick. But we're going to do it again. Looked like it was offsides on the Wildcats here. Again, this is not something you practice a lot. Safeties don't happen a lot in football, so it's easy to see how a formation someone could line up offsides or someone could be on the line before the ball's kicked.
Harriman back to do it again. Number 5, Brad Wieringa on his 25-yard line, respecting that leg of Mitch Harriman. Another nice spiral taken by Wieringa on about the 35-yard line. He cuts it right up the middle.
Nice tackle.
He got a little flag down on the 50-yard line.
Well, Rick Bullheis came in and made a nice stop there. Nice tackle by Rick, but there's a flag. Looks like it's holding on the Bulldogs.
So that'll move them back about 10 yards, and they'll probably get started on about their own 38-yard line.
The officials have done a real nice job tonight. What was a real clean first half. Here's a look. Let's see if we can pick up the holding penalty here. I didn't see the holding call there, but one of the officials definitely picked it up, and with a 1:56 left, Grandville gets the ball back.
Okay, Kevin Doyle brings him out to the 38-yard line. They line up in that wing T right. Lee, DeWitt, and Hausman in the backfield. But up the middle for about a 4-yard gain.
Well, the thing about the Grandville offense is that with Doyle at quarterback, he's always a threat to run the ball. He's proven tonight. It looks like there's a Jenison player down right now, number 71. Looks like it might be an ankle strain of some kind, but he's in a lot of pain there.
That's Todd Gregg down, number 71.
Looks like he might have cramped up his leg a little bit. He's got Moss leaning on him and stretching him out.
Yeah, you get leg cramps when it's hot like this. All this cooled down a little bit since game time began, but when on a real hot night, sometimes the lactic acid builds up in the muscles and you'll start getting cramps. But I don't know if this is a cramp. It looks like a cramp.
Is that galactic acid or lactic acid?
That's lactic. Not, lactic. What did I say, lactic?
You're using too big of words for me
now.
now.
That's lactic acid. You're a runner. You should know that, Steve.
Well, I was going to make the point before the injury is that Doyle is always a threat for the Grandville offense to keep the ball and run. So that's going to keep the defense for Jenison honest. And he's done a nice job tonight in making some good reads.
Tony Anise out in the field talking to the referee out there, and he's got his player down yet with the trainer. I think it's just probably a cramp in his leg. Let's hope that's what it is.
Well, I don't know about him, but I would not want Moss stretching me out. That's all 250 pounds leaning on down on your leg. But that's exactly what he was doing. He's stretching him out, see if they can work that cramp out.
So the ball brings up about 2nd and about 6 with 1:38 to go in the third quarter. Jenison on top, 23-16, with a pretty exciting game so far to open up the OK Red Conference tonight.
You know, it says a lot for conditioning. These guys have been practicing, like we had said earlier, since probably mid-July, actually, conditioning. But right now, it's the dog days of the game, or the dog moments of the game, and conditioning is going to make a big difference in this game.
So Todd Gregg walks off the field. He just like he probably had a little cramp, and he'll be back in, I'm sure, to play some more defense later in the game.
I'll tell you what, the Grandville center's got to be somewhat happy because Todd Gregg is 5'5", 240 pounds with that low center of gravity. He's a tough kid to move around.
You, having played center, probably know a little bit about that, right, Steve?
Absolutely.
That's right. Okay, Ryan Roberts, 57 at center. Kevin Doyle, quarterback, calling out signals. Takes the ball, gives it off to Hausman again. Hausman stood up pretty good right there on the 38-yard line.
Boy, if we get a replay on that, you'll really see the defense for Jenison was up to the task, and a great green tackling there. If you see there, number 62 for Jenison got a lot of good penetration there, did a nice job. Tracy Branch stepped up and got some good penetration, whole defensive line.
Brings up a key play, 3rd and about 6 on the 43-yard line. The Bulldogs with the ball. This is the play the Wildcats have got to stop them right now. They will be respecting the pass possibly here, watching for the pass. Kevin Doyle calling out signals. Long count. Drops back with the ball. And he's got his first down, taken down by Wieringa, but not until after he picked up his first down.
I tell you, Doyle, he's a good quarterback, good threat to run the ball. He's got a good arm. Let's watch a replay of this. You can see he makes a nice move here on number 61 for Jenison and cuts upfield. Nice tackle downfield by Wieringa, but a little bit after the first down marker.
That's a key play, as you said earlier, Steve. You look back on a game after it's over and you say there are key plays in the game. That's a key first down when the Wildcats have them 3rd and 6 and they pick up the first down. Brings up a 1st and 10, moves the chains down to about the 46-yard line. 7 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, 5 seconds. May not get the play off. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the Jenison Wildcats on top, 23-16.
Well, Grandville's got to be actually happy with how that quarter went. Obviously, I sense a little momentum going back towards Grandville. Jenison's got to get their composure back. The defense has got to step up and make some stops here. But I can tell you what, it's shaping up to be an outstanding game with right now Jenison leading 23-17.
I'm impressed with the Jenison's defensive unit. They've stopped the Bulldogs a number of times, but then they've had to go back out in the field when there's been a turnover or a punt like that. So, I mean, you can only ask the defense to do so much for you, and then the special teams have got to step up and say, okay, it's my turn now to contribute, and they can't turn that ball over. They've given the Bulldogs at least 2 or 3 opportunities by mistakes that they've made. So you have your special teams, you have your offense, and you have your defense. They're all equal part of the game, and you can't afford to turn the ball over the way they have. Had they not turned that ball over, who knows what this thing would be. Right now, we have a pretty close game out here.
Boy, it is. It's a real close game, and it's going to shape up to be an outstanding 4th quarter.
So the defense.
I'll tell you an interesting thing here. It looks like the wind has shifted a little bit. The wind's going to be coming out of the south, and Grandville's going to have that at their back here going into the 4th quarter. And again, with the arm that Doyle has and the receivers that he has, it could be a threat to start airing it out a little bit.
Rick Boheis, number 9, is on the line, number 9. Hausman, 21, the ball carrier, brought down to about the 38-yard line.
Number 32, Aaron Amato made a nice tackle there, I should say, but not after a gain of about 5 yards.
Aaron Amato goes 5'10", 195. Here's a replay of this last play. Watch Hausman come up, and then 32, the outside linebacker, 32, Aaron Amato taking down. 2nd and 5 on about the 43-yard line, just starting the 4th quarter. Kevin Doyle calling out signals. Wing left. To give again. This time, Wildcats stopping for no gain.
Well, if you watch a replay on that was a nice play by number 88, Dodd. He didn't make the tackle, but he did what a defensive end should do. He stopped the play, he held up his guy, and forced the players back inside. There was absolutely nowhere to go there.
Nice defensive play. What we were talking about earlier, Steve, was that the defense has to step up. They've done that. Now they've got them 3rd and 6. They've got the critical 3rd and 6 down now. They've got to stop the quarterback, Kevin Doyle, on that rollout where he keeps the ball on the keeper and picks up the first down. So we got to respect the quarterback on this. This time he's got up the middle for very little gain. It's about a 3-yard gain. It brings up a 4th and probably about 2, and then we're down in close to 4-down territory. It'll be interesting to see what they do here. I'm still going to go for a first down.
Well, that was close to a first down. Herma came up from the safety position, put a nice tackle on him to end it, and stopped him from the first down.
This is a real key play now with 4th and about 2. It's man against man right now. 4th and 2. Bulldogs says we're going to make a first down. Wildcats going to have to step up right now. This is a key play right now. With 9:50 to go in the game. Dog gives it to Hausman. Hausman is stopped for no first down. Big defensive play. Steve, there's one of those plays you look back and talk about when the game is over and say, we stopped him on the 40.
Well, by saying that Jenison had to stand up and make a stop, boy, they sure did there, and that's a great play by the defense for Jenison.
So the Wildcat offense takes over on the 40-yard line.
Now the offense for Jenison, what they have to do is they have to sustain a long drive, which they're perfectly capable of doing, and see if they can't chew some time up off the clock.
Good observation. Just burn some time. C.J. Hooper from the 40-yard line calling out signals. Into Harriman. Harriman picks up about 2 yards. '84 checking into for the Wildcats. Kevin Fails with the play. Jeff Racine coming out. Matt Schmucker, the center, up over the ball. C.J. Hooper calling out signals. Two backs. Pro set in the backfield. One out left. A little bit of he picked on a broken play. He's going to come close to picking up a first down. It's a good heads-up run by the quarterback, C.J. Hooper. There was a sort of a...
Hooper, it's interesting. Hooper and the center make a bad exchange here, and he looks like a deer caught in headlights for just a moment there, but he actually makes about a 5-yard gain there.
That's a big offensive play, so now this 3rd and about 3rd and 2. This is going to be a key play for the drive here, so the Bulldogs want to stop them here if they can with 8:40 on the clock, 4th quarter. Jenison on top, 23-16. Hooper saying something to Harriman. It is Harriman. He's bulling his way for the first down and then some. I'll tell you what, that's got to be a great run by number 30, Mitch Harriman, showing you he's got what it takes. We need a first down. Give me the ball. I'll get it for you.
Well, I think Hooper turns around in the replay here and tells him, I'm going to give you the ball, and you're going to turn upfield for about 10 yards, and that's what he did.
That was what I'd call all-conference run by a junior quad, 6 foot 215. That's a great run up the middle. And, you know, the defense has not been out in the field all that long to be worn down, to be honest with you.
Well, Harriman's a good, tough runner, and he took it to Grandville that time with a nice, strong run.
Again, Harriman up the middle for about 5 yards with a fake pitch out here to Stroh, but it's up the middle again. One of the Bulldogs, nice enough to help him up off the ground. It's been a good, clean, hard-fought game.
Yeah, it really has on both sides. Both teams playing a good football game tonight. Grandville defense right now has got to step up, make a stop here because, as we had stated earlier, Jenison just wants to churn the time off the clock, keep sticking it up the middle, and so Grandville's got to be aware of that, key in on some of the running backs for Jenison, particularly Harriman.
C.J. Hooper with the ball with nothing but green in front of him.
Well, I tell you what, I might have just jinxed the Bulldogs because they did key in on Harriman, and Hooper turned into a long run, but one of the downsides is there's an injury on the field, but let's take a look at this replay.
Mike King, unless I'm reading that number wrong, is it actually King, watch Mike King, number 3, just tackling about the 3-yard line.
Well, this has got to be concerning to Jenison because their big tight end and defensive end, Moss, is down. He's hurt. He's got the trainers looking over him right now, but he's a big, tough kid, and he won't go down unless there's a serious injury there.
Let's hope that he had the same. Not serious. Let's hope that he had the same thing that Todd had, and that is cramps, and that probably is what it is that he's holding those legs again, like it could be the cramps. Tony Anise is walking off the field, so he doesn't look like he's overly concerned. Also, there's a player from the Bulldogs, 89, walking off a little slow too. That's Adam White. Like he might have had his bell rung a little bit in that play. Watch this play right now. Alan Dodd.
You can see Moss
queuing this up. can see right now somebody falling on the back of his leg there. So
he's up and all right.
Great cam work by the truck down here next to the next to the stands.
Well, again, it shows how much I know. I told the Grandville defense to hone in on Harima, and they sure did. And the quarterback for Jenison, Hooper, kept the ball and ran it up right into the 5-yard line of Grandville.
1st and 10 on about the 5-yard line. C.J. Hooper calling out signals. Two backs in the backfield, Harima and Stroh. Give to Harima. Harima bowling his way up to about the 3-yard line. They're running down a little bit of time too, so it's 6:58 going down. Jenison in no hurry to run a play. They're just trying to, like you said earlier, Steve, eat up some time off that clock. If they score here, it puts a lot of pressure on the offense for Grandville to come back and take control of the game. Key play being Hooper with that 40-yard scamper to the right side, saving tackle by Mike King, number 3, the defensive back. Hooper calling out signals on about the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. The give to.
Oh, he did. That was a nice run by him. Put his head down in, and the surge is there by the offensive line to just kind of bring him on in. But a nice run, nice blocking. Let's watch a replay of this. As you can see, the bulk of the pile there from Jenison just surges forward about 5 yards on the defense of Grandville, and there's a nice play by Jenison.
Let's give credit to Match Pucker, number 64, the center, the right guard, Tracy Brand, 62, and Joe Faber, 76, at right tackle, opening a hole up for that big number 30, Mitch Harriman. Going for 2 points, 2-point conversion attempt. Hooper's had long count. Could be called for delay of game here if he's not careful. They're calling timeout right now because it was going to be a delay of game if he had not. It's a timeout to Jenison. Score 29-16. So if they score this 2 points, that makes it 31-16. It would be a 15-point lead, I guess, if they can convert. Tony Anise out in the field talking to his offense a little bit, see if they can't get this 2-point conversion. Nice drive with the key play coming from the quarterback. C.J. Hooper showing that speed again, number 14, only 5'8", 160, but he made a nice run out of the right end on the right side. As Steve was saying, they should key in on Mitch Harriman. They did, and that's when Hooper put the ball under his shoulder and under his arm and went for about 40 yards, and he was brought out in about the 5-yard line by Mike King.
Well, I'm really impressed by the junior quarterback. He's got a pretty good arm, but I think the interesting thing about him is he's got good foot speed. He's a quick runner and a good hard runner too. So he's going to be a threat for Jenison.
Good news for the Wildcats is that Brandon Moss, 99, back in the game. So obviously that injury to his leg wasn't all that serious. So we still have the ball on about the 3-yard line, going for 2 points. Harima and Stroh in the backfield. C.J. Hooper quarterback, 2 wideouts left. Calling out signals. Still a long count. Keeps the ball, gives it to Harima, and Harima pulls it in. It's close. I guess he didn't get in.
No, that was a nice defensive play by Grandville. Held him down, and they didn't make the 2-point conversion.
So it's a 13-point ball game, 29-16 in favor of the Wildcats.
Let's take a look at that play again. I think number 58, Eric Holland, comes in and makes a nice tackle here.
So let's give credit where credit is due. The Bulldogs stopped the 2-point conversion. Well, 6:23 to go in the contest, and the Wildcats scoring a nice drive with the 7-4, the nice play by the quarterback on the run.
Well, I tell you what, special teams have made has been a crucial part of this game tonight, and Jenison's got to be aware of that. They've got to just kind of surround everyone, stay in their lanes, and see if they can't make a stop here and not let Grandville break one real quick.
Waringa, 5, did all the damage in the first 5 seconds of the game, back deep to receive on his own 5-yard line. Number 45, as you say, could be a basketball player. Eric Anderson teeing up on the 40. 6:23 to go.
Well, if you get a good look at Anderson when he kips, he gets a real good whipping motion into the ball, and I think our camera guys will be able to pick that up. But boy, he can really put a lot of leg behind the ball.
For a left-footed kicker, that's pretty good, right? And that time he's got a nice end over end down to the end zone, picking up and about the 1 yard deep in the end zone is Waringa 5, brings it out, and there's a whistle of some kind.
Boy, I'm not sure what happened there.
That was an interesting call. I'd like to see that back again, but nice stop in there by number 12 for the Wildcats.
Here's a replay. Let's see if we can pick up what happens here. What caused the whistle?
Oh, I know. Maybe he put his knee down.
He sure did. I think he
touched his knee down in the end zone.
Put his knee down in the end zone. I didn't see that first time around. Looks like he might have because the ball's out at the 20.
Well, Brad Newick, number 12, stopped him anyway, so he was stopped either way in about the 20. So we have 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line with 6:22 to go. Jenison on top by 13 points, 29-16.
Nice kick by Anderson there again.
Anderson put that ball one or 2 yards deep in the end zone. That's 62 yards in the air. Kevin Doyle, quarterback. Late developing play. The inside linebacker follows the play around, or his number 61 actually follows the play around and makes a stop. Chris Laddick.
Yeah, along with Dustin Manning. Nice defensive stop there.
Dustin Boss, 55, checking in on defense. He is a 5'11", 200-pound lineman. 52 comes out of the game. That's Ryan Smoes. Kevin Doyle brings him up to the line of scrimmage. They lost 2 yards, brings up second about 8. Nothing fancy, just up the middle.
They sure are. They're coming up the middle, but nice stop by Jenison there. I'm not quite sure he gained anything on that play. Maybe a couple yards.
33 on the stop. That was Dustin Manning. Jenison is showing some great defense right now.
They really are.
Just when Grandville needs to move that ball.
Well, 3rd and 9, key play for Grandville. They've got to break this one out, get the first down, and think about scoring a touchdown on this drive with 5:10 left.
They got to get a man off the field in a hurry here because, Kevin Doyle's got him up the line of scrimmage. He's back to throw the ball. Got good protection. He throws it to Waringa, and Waringa is upset by Harriman on about the 40-yard line. Nice defense by Harriman. Good arm by the quarterback Doyle.
Well, I'll give the line of Grandville credit. They gave him a lot of time. Doyle really zipped it in there with a nice pass, and I think if Waringa had a chance again, he'd like to have that back because I think he had his hands on it right through his hands.
You're right. So we have a 4th and about 9, Steve, and I would imagine that we're going to have to see a punt here. What do you say?
I would think so. With 4:57 left, almost 5 minutes, looks like Doyle's dropped back to punt.
Jenison hasn't put anybody back yet, so they're not buying into it so far. No one's gone back yet.
No, there's no one back.
They're going to just let the ball drop. This time they're going to say, okay, go ahead and kick it. We'll cover it. You're right. It's a fake kick. He's going to try and run for the first down. He's brought down from the 20, so that puts Jenison in great opportunity to score another touchdown with they'll be 1st and 10 from the 20. Watch the replay. Doyle fakes all the way, unless Dustin Manning, 33, made a great defensive move on him, and he didn't have time to kick the ball. Well, in any event, it's a break for the Wildcats.
Big break for the Wildcats, taking on at their own 19-yard line now.
So they've taken over pretty much the flow of the game, and the ebb of the tide has sort of gone their way, or they say you use the word momentum. 2 wideouts far right.
I like the ebb of the tide.
That's even better. Yeah, I like that too.
Yep.
I couldn't say it again if I tried. The ebbing of the tide. Well, that 1st and 10 play, there's very little gain there. Just running down the clock, 4:41, 4:40. C.J. Hooper looking for a play, 84 going into the game. That's Kevin Fales. We're seeing 81 coming out. The Bulldog defense may be a little bit down in the dumps right now after that little break they had there. They've played a good game so far all night. They've fought hard all night. It's been a good contest.
Boy, it has. It really has. You can't take anything away from either one of these teams at all.
C.J. Hooper on the 18-yard line. 2nd and about 8. The give into Harriman. And he just takes it down about 3 more yards.
You know, it's interesting on that punt by Grandville. King is their normal punter. And when Doyle dropped back to punt. Jenison was not biting off on it. They read fake all the way. Doyle had no intention of punting the ball. It just didn't work out for him, and now it's kind of come back to haunt him a little bit here.
Well, it's sort of a do-or-die play. With down 13 points, they had to get the first down, right?
That's right.
Matt Schmucker, 64, over the ball. Hooper behind him, calling out signals. 2 backs in the backfield. He's keeping the ball himself. C.J. Hooper down to about the 6-yard line for a first down, I believe.
Well, you know, the Grandville defense there, they thought that they had 22 wrapped up. About 4 guys were cheering and happy that they stopped him. In the meantime, the quarterback had run down to about the 3-yard line, or the 3-yard line of Grandville.
He's going to be
I don't know if we can catch that on the replay or not. You see Hooper's going up the field, and, well, you don't quite see it there, but about 4 linemen for Grandville thought they had the running back stopped.
Well, they had...
good fake, good execution by the Wildcats there. Real good offensive play.
So we have first and goal from about the 7-yard line. Hooper taking his time, takes a snap.
Well,
gives it to number 30, Harriman.
I'll tell you, Harriman gets down close, and he smells the goal line. There was no stopping him there. But if you watch here, he goes relatively untouched. Someone missed an assignment here. Someone didn't fill a hole because Harriman pretty much walks through there. Nice play by Jenison. Nice offensive play, and again, credit to the offensive line. They opened up a great hole for Harriman.
Okay, that's 35-16, and Jenison on top. The offensive line led by Kyle Roggs, number 79. That big left tackle at 6'6", 255. The left guard, 58, Ben Ashmore. 205, Matt Schmucker goes 210. Right guard, Tracy Branch, 5'10", 230. And the right tackle, 6'3", 260, Joe Favre. So let's give credit where credit is due. The offensive line has really played well in this last series of play, in fact, the whole game. Hooper going for 2. And
they punched it in.
Again,
number 22 for Jenison made a nice hard run.
Seed Stroh, number 22.
Seth did a great job there running the ball in.
I like to call him Seth, but his name is really Seth, so I've been getting ribbed about that. I know it's Seth. Nice job, Seth, on the run. Good job. 35-16. Wildcats on top. Is pretty much in the can right now for the Wildcats, but see what happens.
Well, it looks like the scoreboard is not quite right. It should be 37-16.
Right, you're right. It should be 37-16.
With a 2-point conversion. Boy, Jenison really came out and played a fine executed game tonight. They've stuck to a game plan. They could have hung their heads a little bit when Grandville opened up with the run back on the opening kickoff, but they've come back and played real strong.
It sort of shows you that the Wildcats could be a team to be reckoned with in the OK Red. East Kentwood's got some good players back from last year. They won the Red last year going undefeated and win, I think, a couple of games in the playoffs. Last year, the Wildcats went out to Rockford, and it was a pretty exciting game, but there are a couple of brothers out there that played. Their dad was a wrestler at Grand Valley State College, and one was a tight end, one's a running back. The Hosford boys played a good game, and as a matter of fact, playing for Grand Valley this year themselves. So again, Eric Anderson picking it down to Waring on the 10-yard line, going up the middle.
Nice tackle there by number 2 for Jenison. Caught him from behind. Brett McCarthy made a nice play. The senior, who's 6 foot, 160 pound, definitely shows some good foot speed there. Ran down Waringa. We know Waringa's got some wheels himself.
Not too many substitutions going in for the Wildcats. They're going with their first unit on defense.
It's a good look at Coach Ace. He's a very happy guy right now, and his team, he should be. His team's played a nice game tonight.
Kevin Doyle, number 11, brings up the line on the 23-yard line with 2:36 on the clock. He's dropping back. There was a bullet out there, which is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 5, Waringa.
Yeah, Waringa again. That ball was well thrown. Mr. Waringa, you got to bring that one in, look it in, and make a catch.
Right, it was in the numbers. It just he rifled that ball in there.
Sometimes it's hard when there's 4 defensive guys around you, but again, nice throw by the quarterback, Doyle.
Todd Snip, 44, checking out. Again, Kevin Doyle, number 11, brings him up to the line. 2nd and 10 on the 22-yard line. Look to see this ball in the air again. Up the middle for about 5 yards.
And the clock continues to move with 2:20 left in the game.
Tim Hausman, 21. Brings up 3rd and 4. I think Grandville is pretty much just content to run this one out if they can. Just sort of maybe they'd like to score one more just to get another one in there if they could.
I definitely think they'd like to continue to work their offense and air it out a little bit and see if they can make something happen.
No question about it. Doyle back to throw the ball, but he can't get it off. He's got 33 hanging around him.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play by Manning. Dustin's played a nice game tonight, and Doyle had no chance to get that ball off. Let's look at that again. If you watch Manning, he comes up. Actually, I think the tackle there for Grandville just had a hard time handling him, and Manning made a nice play.
4th and about 12, so we'll probably have Doyle go back. If Doyle goes, no, this time it's King 3, or Mike King 3, so there's not going to be any fake punt, I don't believe.
Once again, Jenison doesn't have anyone back. Harem was it's a low snap.
And it's an end over end kick, going down, hitting on the 50, rolling back down into Jenison territory. Will come dead on about the 26-yard line, covered there by Grandville Bulldogs. So the Wildcats have pretty well got this one in hand with 59 seconds to go, and I think the scoreboard, Steve, is incorrect. It's still showing 35-16, but we think it's 37-16.
I believe so, if my math serves me correctly.
So I would imagine that Hooper will just kneel down a couple of times and get out of here.
Yeah, nice play, nice game by Jenison. They stuck to a game plan. They continue to run the ball up the middle. They opened it up when they had to, went to their receivers when they had to in the right spots, but just a well-played game by Jenison, and I think they're going to finish it out here by keeping it on the ground and run the clock out.
Yep. C.J. Hooper's got the ball on about the 26-yard line, calling out signals, steps back and kneels down. Clock running down.
Well, it's a tough loss for Grandville, coming off a win last week with a new coach, Irv Sigler. Fine young coach. He's going to have a great season, I'm sure, with Grandville, but he ran into a very strong team tonight at Jenison.
Really, to recap a little bit, Steve, the game was exciting to start. The first play, as we said before so many times, was the 95-yard return of the kick by Waringa, and then it just it was like electrifying to start the game, and then it settled into a Jenison made a nice little drive and made their score to tie the ball game up. And the second half has just been all Jenison.
Yeah. You know, the key thing here in a spot like this, well, the game is over, it's elementary, but a great game by both teams. That's going to run the clock out with 10 seconds left. They don't have to run another play. They're going to shake hands and call it a night.
Next week, the Wildcats will meet East Kentwood out at East Kentwood, and they come back and play West Ottawa at home. I believe that may be their homecoming, I'm not sure. And then they have Grand Haven out there, and they meet Holland at Holland. And then the big game with Rockford is October the 16th, where WCET will cover that game here. It'll be a home game, obviously, here at Jenison. And they go out and play Molly Shores, and then over to Muskegon to finish up the season. This has been an exciting
fireworks going off in the background there. Someone must know that Jenison won because there's a fireworks show going off into the distance.
Either that or Mark McGuire should another home run.
That could be.
So this is Don Peterson for Steve Peterson. It's been exciting. We've enjoyed it. It's a 37-16 victory for the Wildcats. We've enjoyed being here for WCET and look forward to next time. Thank you very much.